I'll get right into it. Okay. So when you swing the club back, sometimes you just don't know, is that your leg kind of stays a little too flexed, too long. That's part one. And so what happens is when you hit it decent or pretty good for you, okay, head would move just a little bit off, no big deal. But when that happens, I want you to understand this: your left glute here, your left pelvis, that's called a reverse hip tilt. So when you hit it like shit, you move further off. So when you move further off, your pelvis went further here. Okay. So then when you tried to swing, you then came from, and then, so you got to figure out a way. So then the pelvis is going left, but your arms are going up, and then you drop down, and now you're coming way from the inside, and you're way under, and you're going to hit hooks. Okay. So when you were effortless, you were a little more centered. Your pelvis moved still ever so slightly that way because your leg is flexed, but it was better. And that's why you still feel like, and I don't know if you noticed or not, but you really ever feel like you can't release, like it's kind of it's like you kind of can't move your head with the xiphoid process. Like it's kind of like you swing and then you finish. Okay. That's what it looks like to me all the time. But you can't help that because the ground's pushing you the opposite way. So when your pelvis goes this way, then the ground pushes you back. And so you see, I can't really, so I'm like right under a little bit and I'm right here. And then I'm like, hey, get to your left side. And you're like, okay, after the ball's going.
Yes.
You feel like that? Do you feel like that?
Okay. Yeah, definitely the chest. Like, I feel like I'm never like in this nice position. I feel like I have to, if I'm getting forward like this.
Yeah, you can't help it.
It's awkward. Yeah.
So basically you like to go like that. Okay. So it's one of two things that I can fix this with. Okay. So about 5 things. But anywho, I don't know. We'll find out which one it is.
We'll find out. Yeah.
All right. So first of all, keep your head centered if you can. And I know it's going to feel really weird because you're a little bit big body thinking. It looks like you're trying to like turn your shoulder and your chest and make sure that you get behind the ball. Is that kind of what is in your head?
Yeah, often that works better. So I think if I have to scrap that completely, I'm down. But yes.
Okay. So you can tell that this moves first. So the problem of it is when this moves first, that's what caused this to go there. Okay. So, and I'll kind of prove it. So put your golf club with just your right hand. Okay. And let's make sure that we're doing it right. So hang on. So put it in your first
left hand grip.
No. Right hand grip. Just put it right in your first.
Like as if it's a left hand though, right?
Yeah. Well, no. First foul link. First line all the way across.
Isn't that what you would do for the left hand?
No.
Oh. Okay, never mind. Then maybe I need to work on that too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Good to know.
So it's just in the first foul link all the way across. Okay. Just the right hand. Okay.
Yep.
There you go. Now grip the club. Now your thumb will be on top and it'll be, so it feel like you could take a drink.
Yeah.
There you go. Good. So now wind your hand up. And what I mean by this, and when I say things, I mean, I actually really mean exactly what I'm saying. So I want you to feel your hand winding up and going right across your shoulder, going over top your shoulder. There you go. Do it again. Now, feel a little foreign?
Yeah.
Okay. So and even there, your golf club is behind you. Yep, behind you. So check this out. So just take the hand, just wind the hand up. Look at my hand, just right over my shoulder. This would be like if I'm going to throw a ball underhanded with my right hand. Good. Next thing, hang on a second. Make sure, one more little thing. This pad, you see this pad?
Yep.
This pad's got to be on top of the grip. There you go. So now you
on
can
top of it touching.
No, so you're still kind of catty corner a little bit. See, so it's there, and this pad, look how much of my hand is on top of here. The reason why is because this is where your right hand should be if you're a 10-finger grip. Now, when you put your pinky on with your left hand, then it goes to the second foul link because then that allows this pad to go on top of the thumb. But you don't have any control when you're doing that, so it has to be there when you're doing just the right hand. Okay. All right. big distinction here. All right, so now, so swing it over the shoulder. There, that's better. Now, keep it right, no, keep it right there. Good. Now, look at, this is kind of a cool thing. Look at your, if you can, look at your pelvis and you'll see that it's higher, your right's higher than your left.
Yep.
And your weight is going to be in your right leg. Now, take your left, don't move your arm if you can. Just take your left arm. You don't have to grip it, but just take your left arm to it. There you go. Now, all your weight's in your right leg. Your pelvis didn't go towards your left pelvis didn't turn or shift. Yep, that's fine. Yep, there you go.
Actually, I feel like I'm feeling a decent amount of my left still. I don't know if I'm doing
okay.
it.
So, all right. So that's good. Thank you. So what happens is anytime your arm likes to extend, you like to take your pelvis this way to counterbalance. Okay. There. Now, that's what I mean by now the knee. Yep. So your pelvis twists this way. Okay. So now take your knee and let your knee kind of go more out towards the ball.
This.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Like relax it out to.
There you go. Now you feel all your weight, and now your pelvis is on your right leg. Now your pelvis is outside your hip. Now put your head back on center. There you go. Now that's the top of your backswing, correct?
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So now from there, yep. See the difference? Okay, good.
Yeah,
so,
wow.
All right. So now you take your hand and you're going to spin it this way. Watch this. You're going to spin your hand like you're throwing a ball underhanded. If you're throwing a ball underhanded, you wouldn't just move your arm. Okay. So that's your next little thought is that you try to pull your arm down. So it's not the arm going down as it is the hand unwinding that makes the arm go in front of your elbow. Now watch this. Watch my hand. Hand. Look where my elbow is.
Yep.
Okay. Bingo. Okay.
Now, how do you avoid?
No, you're like, how did I not do that?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So as my hand is unwinding, my arm, now watch this, keep your arm out there a little bit wider. Good. My arm doesn't change. My arm angle stays the same, but my hand unwinds. See?
Arm angle stays the same.
There, getting closer. Nope, you straightened your arm by then. Watch this. Watch my arm.
Okay. Oh, I don't even know.
Getting closer.
Oh, it's so bizarre.
Getting closer. There it is. Now see how your hand is there? Now it extends straight. And then the hand goes under. And that's an underhand throw. So your hand, there you go. So you're not pulling your arm, you're not pulling your elbow down in front of your, and you're not pulling it down, right? That's different. Your hand unwinding is making the elbow go in front of you. Bingo.
Just a hand.
Yep, there you go. And then it throws. Now, so because you've never felt this on your right leg, I want you to stand just on your right leg.
Okay.
You're fine.
All right.
Okay. So when you stand on your right leg only, you're going to take your left foot and kind of put it behind you. And you see how my quads match?
Yes.
Okay. And I have no pressure in my left foot. I'm going to, I can't tell on my phone if you can see
this is perfect. Yeah, this is perfect.
All right, my toes just tapping. Okay. So when I swing back now, my hand winds up, all my weight's going to be on my right leg. This is going to teach you what it feels like. There's now, see, watch this is really, really cool. So when I go here and remember everything when I on the Zoom lesson, when I'm speaking, it's going to see me. And when you're speaking, it's going to show you. Okay. So I kind of want to speak a little more on the first one just because you can then see it and then you're going to see you and all that. Okay. So when I'm here now, if I take my left foot and put it back down, my right pelvis is outside my hip. So this is going to teach you because I'd probably spend a year trying to get you to make a compound pivot with your feet. There you go. Now put your left hand to it. Voila. And there's your head on center and your right leg should be pretty straight.
Yeah, it feels pretty straight, I think.
Good. Well, that's okay. Well, let's find the difference. Okay. So how do you know the difference? Okay. So now move your head.
To the right, you mean?
Yep. And your knee has to bend.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now put your head back on center. There you go. Now put it back on center. Like literally look there. Now your right pelvis is outside your hip.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Now the secret sauce here. Now let the chin, I'm going to keep winding my hand up, and I'm going to let the chin rotate while my pelvis goes out. There you go. No, don't turn the body. It's the hands.
Okay.
It's the hands that move. There it is. See the difference? These are big differences, slight, but big. Now from there, now you can go ahead and just swing through, just release your hands and stand on that right foot. There you go. And see, your chin had to move with your xiphoid process. Perfect.
Ooh, that is strange.
Well, if it was not strange, it'd be doing the same dumb thing you've been doing before.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
There it is. Now that's fine. Now take your left hand away just for a second. That's really good. Now just tap your toe though for balance. Good.
Oh, right.
There you go. All right. Now from there. All right. Now you say something for a second.
All right. Back on me.
Mm-hmm.
Left arm up, head centered. And then just swing my hands through.
There you go. That's a weird feel, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's do the exact same thing, but we're going to stand on just the left leg, and I'm going to teach you what it feels like to have impact position.
Okay.
So you're going to do left leg, foot's going to be behind you. You're going to have your grip like your correct grip with the right hand. Just for right hand for now. We'll put the left hand on. I think the left hand's okay. I think the right hand was definitely not in the fingers correctly. But so when you wind up now, when you throw, your hand still unwinds, the elbow still comes out in front, and the hand still releases. But now your pelvis is going to be, for the first time, it's going to be outside your hip, and your chest is going to face the ball for maximum release. Then the body turns after the ball's gone.
Okay.
Okay.
Same thing.
Yep. There. Yep. Hand go slow now.
Oh, sorry, I forget. Just one hand for now?
Yeah, just one hand right for now. Yep.
Okay.
Go slow. There it is. Now look at your pelvis.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
This is what I mean by compound pivot. A compound pivot is where you have your weight on your right outside basically your pelvis is outside your right leg for support for your club to swing over, and then you're over here on your left to swing over. So for you as an athlete, I'm going to try to get you to have a stimulus of your hand path correct. And if your hand path correct and your head stays on center, then your pelvis has to go up.
Okay.
So then to throw, instead of shifting or turning that you like to do, you're just going to let your hand unwind, bringing the arm out in front, unwinding, and then going over the left leg. So, yes.
Okay.
So that's going to be a real foreign move to you.
Yeah. But you're right. I like that it's foreign. I think I need something foreign.
So once the hand, I'll show it slow. So once the hand winds up here, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Then your hand unwinds the exact opposite way. You take out what you put in.
Yeah. So you kind of, it almost
mirrors each other.
Almost feels like you're doing this, like you're not actually turning.
Yes. But if you had a ball in your hand, so let's put a little golf ball in your hand.
Yeah.
And you were going to throw it. So underneath, your hand would wind up over your shoulder. Okay. And if you were going to throw it out to the target, now go slow, would you just pull your arm in? No. Your hand starts to unwind from the top, doesn't it? Watch. See? I'm not really teaching anything revolutionary here. There it is. But people just are so dumb about their hands. So for instance, now I'm sure you've probably seen some of my videos. So when I talk about, so I want to kind of clear some things up. Mm-hmm. I do this every swing, no matter what. Like I have this ingrained because I learned from a guy named Art Quick, and he made me get the club back as fast as I can over my shoulder. And he says, pause for a second and then throw the fucker as hard as you can. And so I learned to do this. So when I teach people, for instance, watch my feet. Now my feet are moving, okay, and so therefore you can see my feet, right? So it's like I'm walking. But when I get up here to the top, I'm wound up. Even though I'm passive right here, when my right foot starts to roll, my hand is still doing. Can you see it? It's still doing this. It's not. Yeah. I'm not just rolling my foot and bringing my arm down into here and then unwinding. It's not this. It's not the. So if you don't learn this, you can't really have true speed.
Yeah.
Every golf pro does this instinctively and has no idea how to probably teach it or say it, because what they'll try is they talk about shallowing and they think that's what they're doing, but their hand is doing it. See, now what's the difference when my body does it? See, it's much more behind. So now I have to. So now I can't throw. I'm going to have to rotate and hold on. So it's not see. So it's not this behind. It literally is just the hand spinning.
Okay.
But your arm feel now, but in kinesiology terms, your arm is what's going to the target. So my arm is going to the target, keeping the same angle, but my hand is unwinding.
Okay.
And that's the anatomy of a throw. See?
Yeah, wow. That's okay.
I think it doesn't, and when you spin it like this, your hand then does that like you're throwing a ball. It's underhanded, right? So it's only now the left hand, when we put the left hand to it, okay? So let's put it, let's kind of wind it up to about halfway. So you kind of unwind it about halfway down. Good, you're unwinding. Good, now put your left hand on it. Okay, so now from here, go ahead and feel the right hand throwing under. And watch your left hand. Now, the left hand, you have to train your left hand to do this, and I don't think you have yet.
This is where I got lost before.
That's okay. So your left hand does a backhanded motion. When your grip is correct, the right hand goes under. The left hand should automatically do that motion.
So this is where, so last lesson you were telling me a lot about throwing, and I close to connecting, but not quite. Okay. I think you're right. I think the left, one thing I'm not sure about is as I'm doing that, I feel myself go like this a lot. Should there be a lot of that, or almost?
No? So you shouldn't feel. This happens by centrifugal force. Okay. Centrifugal force is so when I'm throwing the club, my wrist is going around like this, and the wrist bone is straightening, and it straightens by centrifugal force when my arm. And so what? Okay. So again, a great question. So what makes that do that is my elbow going from bent to straight, which straightens out my wrist, which puts it in line.
Oh, sorry. I meant that makes sense. I meant for my left hand.
No, I know we're getting there. We're getting there.
Gotcha,
okay.
Gotcha.
So I'm saying these are, but they go together. Okay. So if I kept this the same angle, now I got to bend more to keep my elbow down like that. Now the left hand, the wrist, now the golf club. Okay. So let's do the left hand only. It's fine. Now take your left hand. Okay. So the left hand, let's do the whole motion left-handed. Okay. Sure. So as it goes back, it does not go back in a straight line. Okay. So it's going to go like that. So why is that? Because put your right hand. So put your right hand on it just for a second. Right hand only again. We can kind of mirror this. Okay. So we put it there. Yep. Now, even less. Yeah, right there. Now put left hand, put it on it. Take your right hand away. Is that the same position? Okay.
Same position.
All right, so the hand now, so swing your hand slowly over your shoulder. There you go. Now, you're not going to pull the arm down. The left hand, if my right hand is doing this, my left hand is also now moving constantly throughout the whole motion. So we're ready for that again. Ready for that? Okay. You're like, what the hell?
Let me get closer.
Right, so it's not this. Okay. So my left hand is turning down as I'm going because my forearm angle is rolling here and here. It's the same in that. So if I was to swing this in a circle, can you see it that? So not this, right? So you can even learn up here in a circle. Yep. You'll see how the joint and the elbow bends.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing now is my hand is, since my right hand is throwing, and so because I throw, right? So the left hand is going along for the ride, but when it's passive, but it should still feel, you should feel it in practice where this golf club goes from here to square to here. Now people say it's the forearm, but it's not really the forearm. I can rotate my forearm. See, I can go here and just rotate my forearm. See, that's not gonna hit the ball. So my hand is what is going, and my arm is staying the same angle. So this is, watch this now. This gets a little deep. So it's my hands are throwing, right? But my arm angles. Can you see how my arm angles? they're staying the same.
Yeah.
Okay. So your arm angles stay the same, but your hands are rotating around. So just like so a left hand's a backhand.
Yeah. So all this makes sense, and I think you're right, and this is why I want to take lessons with you.
I get it.
There's something about the feeling I can't. It's just not. It's just I think I don't know what's limiting me. It just feels like I can't.
No, that's okay. So now, but I'll show you. So now put your right. So it's okay. You don't have to be intelligent with your left hand.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll be done with it.
You could be done with it. Okay. So so as long as it is in this groove of this finger and this second joint. Okay. Yep. Then this pad is on top and this thumb is here.
Well, can you actually show me the thumb again? That's one thing I get confused on. Should it be more on the? How close should it be to my pointer finger? Pretty close. It's going to be kind of just on top.
No, it's going to be the joint is together.
To get completely together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the first joint of the knuckle matches the very first top of the palm on top. See, it matches this.
The first joint of the thumb matches the. Okay. Yep.
Okay. And then it curls. And then as long as your hands can do this. See. Mm-hmm. That's right. Now put your right hand on it. Go ahead. Okay. And now I want you to just stand on your right foot only. Okay. And I just want, there you go. Now I want you to just throw. Right, wind your right hand up and unwind. There you go. Now look what your left hand did.
Does that look good?
Well, it had to. Otherwise, you're right. So if your hand doesn't do this, look, if your hand doesn't do this, then the club face would be facing the right hand be facing the sky.
Right.
So your right hand just throws under, and the left hand by centrifugal force will roll over. See, you're not rolling your hand over. You don't have to roll your hand over. It rolls over on its own. Now, the further that you throw, just like anything else now, as my hand is unwinding, watch this, as my right hand is unwinding and my elbow, and I want to throw it out further, my arm will extend out further, okay? And do you see how my arm is extending out here?
Yeah.
Well, that means now watch what my left hand would look like. So I'm throwing it out, okay? I've spun it, right? Spinning, hit the golf ball here. I'm not fully unwound when I hit the ball. My right hand is still unwinding after the ball is gone here. Well, now, so that means my left hand is not doing this right off the bat. It's going out. My left hand doesn't turn over until out here. Why? So watch this. Hold on. So anatomy lesson. Anatomy lesson. Okay.
Yep. Love it.
Watch my hand and my elbow. So where does my hand fully turn over?
Like, 45 degrees. I can't tell exactly, but out there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can feel it if you just take your elbows and go like this. There you go. Now take your left hand to your right. Don't move your right. Okay. There's your wind up throw position. Okay. Now finish here. Now put it here. Now take your right hand to your left. And there's your finish position on your follow through. Now you're like, well, my forearm had to rotate to get there, right? Well, that's because remember the right hand is unwinding here, and then so my arm is out here. That's different.
Yeah.
See? So if I put my arm, that's a different anatomy. So if I put it here, so if I extend my arm, now watch this. I'm going to go slow. So you don't go just like this, right? So my arm is not, take your elbow, right? You're going to feel like you're taking your elbow in your hand, and as it unwinds, and it's going to then come to the golf club. There you go. That's where the left hand unwinds. So how can you think about, let me go, hang on. Now, John Daly does, but I can't. He can think about taking the left hand because maybe he backhands his bitch, but but so when I don't have any pressure here and my grip is correct and I throw, my right arm extends and my elbow always folds right there.
Okay.
It doesn't, it's never going to go here.
I have a feeling that I hold on too long. Do you think is there something about that?
No. So why? Okay. So two things. What made you? So the only thing that you have to really focus on is just your right hand, because so what makes you make your reverse pivot? Your arm going out
versus winding up.
Well, just do it. So take your arm straight out.
You mean just like literally just?
Yeah, take it straight out. Now, when you take it straight out and you keep your head on center, where does your left pelvis go? To the left?
Over my
okay. Pretty simple, right? You're like, damn it, how does he know this? Now, wind your hand up fully. Wind your hand up fully. Yeah. And now your weight's in your right leg. See, that's using your QL and your lat and all that jazz.
Yeah.
See, totally different. See, if you now put both arms on it for a second, and I'll prove this is a point. Okay, no, put it straight down back up in front of you. Oh. The regular, yep, okay. Now take the club back, both arms straight. Now look what your pelvis did.
I can't actually. This feels weird to me because I feel more weight on my right. But is it?
You're learning, but your elbow bent. No, your elbow bent. Don't bend your elbow.
Sorry, do what? Sorry.
So don't bend your elbow. Keep both arms straight. Don't bend your elbow. Don't bend your elbow at all. There you go. Now, do you feel how so when you did this, your weight has to counterbalance from falling over. The elbow bending here and the hand winding is what makes you have an attached in and a detached in. So watch this. My head stays right on center.
Yep.
Now watch this. My weight goes left.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that or if I take both arms straight and then I move my head, I'm gonna fall over at some point. So what do even tour pros do this? They'll take it back together, like in their head moves off the ball, but they flex deeper into their right leg. So now but they're not you. Okay, they're not you.
Yeah, no, I don't need that.
So now they do some weird shit. So now because they're bent and they're great athletes and they figured out a way to square the club face up, they now can shift with their left, which recenters. Then they can start standing up, but their hand is still doing this, by the way, because they've learned to throw. And now they have a real deep squat with torque. And now they're doing this, and they can still go play golf for a living.
So they have to, though. They have to do that.
They have to do that because they're fucked up. This is wrong. This is anatomically incorrect.
Yeah.
But golf pros can do a lot of crazy shit,
right?
And it should annoy people and get away with it because they know how to unwind their hand to square the club face up.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's the number one thing. Like you could still be like I could annoy the shit out of people. I could be here. Now, that's a reverse pivot. But my brain would say I'm throwing a ball, so it would immediately wind way up here and put me back down into some kind of position to then release.
Right. I see the difference. You make it work rather than it's off.
You make it work. You make it work. So for you, you're winding your hand up, keeps your weight in your right leg, keeps your head on center.
Okay.
You unwind in your hand, makes this arm straighten here and makes this left arm bend appropriately and over your shoulder. See, so when you throw out, and you spin your hand. Now spin your hand and throw it under.
Spin my right hand?
Yep. Now, and then from there, you can't hold your arm. So you're extending your arm and with tension. So if I was throwing a ball, I'm not going to do, wait a minute, watch this now. I'm not going to go here and stop unless I'm trying to hit a wind shot. My hand is spinning, my arm is going, and I finish full release. Because I'm throwing. Right. See? Now your shoulder, now that golf club should be right over your shoulder on the finish right there. See? And now your chin is moved with your xiphoid process. You didn't have to think about it.
Okay.
If I could teach people, and this is the easiest way though, and most, I would say, I wish I had a percentage. I want to say it's 50-50, but it's probably more 60-40 or maybe 65-35 hand path compared to legs. But there's some people, man, I'm telling you, like how you were with your lower body trying to teach you.
Yeah.
They're the same way.
Never get there
with hand path.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So they get like maybe they're better dancers and they kind of get this feeling and their arm is going along. And so you can see, look, I'm in the same place.
Yeah.
But I just got there differently. Right. So my point for you is to just think about, and I know it's going to feel really weird. You're going to feel like that your hand is just doing this and this and this. That's all you've got to really feel. Because your golf swing, when you get bad, is you get long. And when your right arm gets long, then it gets high. So now what? Okay. So you've got to reverse pivot this way. Then your arm goes up. So your weight's over here. So now it's throwing you back. You can't help it. So if your hand just spins both ways, now remember, I'm still telling you that the arm is the arm has to keep the same angle. It doesn't come in and it doesn't, right? Does that make sense? So when I'm saying, I understand the terminology. The arm, so when I said, okay, if you just swung your arm to the target and you had passive hands, your hand should do this. But people can literally take what I say and say, okay, swing your arm to the target, and they do this, and they'll still push the club. So then you like, well, I can't feel my, so that's the same thing you're doing. I can't feel my left hand extend. I can't feel my left hand roll.
Yeah.
Well, your left grip maybe was a little bit incorrect, but now it should be easy to do that and spin it. Okay. But you shouldn't, because you're so right side, which is fine. You can't, I don't want you to get down here and go, okay, now let me spin my left hand too, you know? So if you spin your left hand too, your right hand will go more over quicker.
Too much. How can you tell I'm so right side, by the way? I believe you, but I'm curious what like the, what
I look at how you move.
Okay. Yeah.
I look at the difficulty of one way and the easiness of another.
Okay.
So that's all. Yeah, cool. It's sometimes psychology, and then it's also sometimes just seeing like the brain triggering. Like you've played a sport, right?
Yeah, tennis.
So tennis, right?
Yeah.
So tennis will be the same way. So in a tennis racket, you're spinning your hand. Now you may not think it. You might think that you are just turning your body, but in tennis, you're spinning that racket, dude.
Definitely. No, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. But because you can't, any sport that's a throw would be a dart. Watch this. I'm throw darts. My hand winds back. And as my arm is going to the target, my hand is unwinding. Basketball, I'm dribbling. My hand is going back. And as my arm is unwinding, my hand is going. Okay. So it literally is every single throwing sport motion is some form. The hand moves first and then the arm goes to the target. But your arm has to go to the target, but your hand has to be able to respond. So that's the debate rages on of, is the golf swing all hands for some people? They feel, and if you feel your hand, like say if I'm throwing the ball and I feel my hand unwinding, but my arm is flying to the target, then I'm right. But if I said, okay, I'm throwing my arm, but my hand doesn't move, now I'm wrong. Or if I throw my hand, now watch this. This is the shitty golfer, right? And I have to be careful because I'm gonna make a video about this, and I'm sure it's going to be controversial as shit. But if I throw my hand like this, see, but I don't move my arm. Now, so why would that happen? Well, because my elbow would be tacked into my body, right? My weight would be left. And they said, okay, Roger said spin the hand. So now I'm going to do this. And now they're going to be like, I'm straight here, right? So it's not, so you can't be, so you have to have this wind up correctly and have this throwing arm angle to then be able to keep the elbow width and arm the same as it unwinds. But it's the same as, watch my elbows, watch this, here. Okay. So when I bring my arm to it, you'll see that I'm in that width position, wind the hand up, and then throw.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the issue for me I'm worried about is it all makes sense. It all clicks like, intellectually.
So I get it. So now I need you to hit balls now, right foot and left foot only drills, because your tendency is going to be wide. So what does the right foot really do for you? Several things. About 5 things. So what it does is it corrects your posture.
Okay.
If I'm here and I bend way over, my hamstrings engaged too much. If I'm quad flexed, right? So now my arms are hanging. So now if I take the golf club back and I take it back in really wide, I'm going to fall off the ball. If I turn my body too soon, I fall off the ball. So the only way to keep in balance in your head on center is to wind your hand up. So then if you turn your body through first, you're going to spin out and go backwards again. If you try to pull the club down, you're going to go left, you're going to go backwards again, right? So from here, it teaches your arm and hand to unwind correctly and your body to do. Same thing on the left foot, obviously. So you have all the same things. If you overextend your arms this way, your body will counterbalance as well. See? So you still have to have this arm extend, but this arm folds. So now you kind of start to see how symmetrical this is and how I can do this. And that's both. That looks the same, doesn't it? And here's the impact. but I put my foot down, it looks the same. See?
Yeah.
So you're learning what it feels like to have these swing circular this way, and it works the same way on both sides.
Yeah.
Okay. And so therefore, anytime you're doing, so basically you were just doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And when you barely moved a little bit and your arms maybe folded a little bit more when your head didn't move as much off the ball. So it's kind of if my head moves off the ball, I'm loading my right leg, my arms are going to go back wider. When my head stays still, I could still now watch this. I could keep my head perfectly still and I can still take my arms out wide, but my body has to counterbalance on my left leg.
I see what you mean.
The only way that you're always reacting to the counterbalance of the swing. See, everybody thinks I'm saying a lot of different shit, but it's just another way of saying it, right? So when I'm lining my hand up, my weight's in my right leg, right here. So from right here, now my pelvis has to go up. Well, why does it go up? It goes up because the golf club is now loaded here and going this way to keep my head on center. See? Okay. So I'm actually recentering, even though my head's on center. My weight is going back left. So I have shifts with just hand path. So now as I move my arm, you'll see my weight go where? To my right. A little, right?
Okay.
So then as I'm unwinding, now the club squares up. Now it's left. Now pressure was left, but shift was right. So these are all, so now you're saying, okay, so remember I told you about you've seen all the videos where I talked about the shift going this way and this way and this way. So when I do this, I'm right here.
Yep.
Okay.
Right away.
As the golf club goes this way, I'm right here. And then as I throw, I'm going back here. And I'm going here. Now, you ain't got to think about any of that shit. No, all I'm telling you is if all you did is stay center and wind your hand up over your shoulder and unwind, all those 4 shifts happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that's why I want you to feel it when you're practicing on the right leg. You'll start to feel, and I want you to be really aware of your foot and how much it rotates inside. So if the weight transfer is between 2 feet, it's 1 foot. When you swing back, you're going to feel your weight go to kind of the heel and the toe. And also your toe and your foot will grab the outer edge of the foot. Okay. So then as you're unwinding, you'll feel the pressure go towards your left foot. No, the left part of your right foot.
Left part of your,
Okay. And then as it starts to unwind, you'll feel the pressure kind of go back towards the middle. Then from here, now you'll feel all your weight kind of shifting back from the left heel back to the right and even the right toe. So you'll start to be aware that's what's happening with both feet.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean.
But I didn't think about, I'm not telling you kind of roll your right foot on just your right foot only, right? I'm saying that hand path swinging dictates the rest of how the body goes.
Okay. I do see what you mean.
So right foot only and left foot only drills are going to be key for you in making sure that no, it's not arms. It is not an arm takeaway and it's not a body takeaway. It is hands going over the shoulder.
Hands
hands like you're throwing a ball. So you have that width, not hand like this.
Right.
Okay, like that.
And you're saying, just going back for a second, with the right foot only, I know I'm not, thinking this and it's just kind of happening. It's reacting to my hands. I understand. I love that. But if I was paying attention, it would be on the outside of my right foot at some point, or not that, like the right side of my right foot?
No, it would be on the, so if I was going to, it'll be on the, not all the way out. So if I was going to chop the foot, say there's a middle line, then there's just a fraction quarter and a fraction quarter. It's not on the toe, but it's right between the middle line and the toe, the middle of your foot and your toe. So you're going to feel it shift to there. Then you'll feel it back in the middle. Then you'll feel it left. So it's like you're feeling like quarters. Like I'm talking like this much to the right, this much middle, this much left. Not ever outside, because then the foot would roll.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then when you say I should do these right foot, left foot drills, all of them with just my right hand, or do you think it's useful?
Oh no, both hands. No, both hands. Hit balls. Hit balls.
Oh, both hands. Oh, okay.
Yeah, hit balls. Yeah. Right, so when I was clocked, this was kind of fun to do, and I know I'm equal. because, and I may be slower now, but last year, because shit, I don't train. All I do is teach.
All you do is these videos. Yeah. Well,
all I do is videos and teach. They're like, hey, how's your workout? I'm like, what the fuck is that? it's like I might do about, I got like a convict conditioning that I do, like maybe like I'll do 2 sets of like 5 exercises once a week.
Okay.
It's like, trust me, I'm not eating 300 grams of protein like I did when I was losing weight and getting stronger and all that. So, but after I leave this job and I'll have 40 more hours, I'll be able to put in time of working out on top of it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
Are you leaving the club?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave her in the fall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm making more money than I make here. And it's just gonna I can let the business, I can spend 40 more hours letting the business grow.
Yeah.
So even if I just did like 2 $500 packages a week, that makes what I make here.
Okay.
And I work 80 hours or 40 hours. Right?
And you're probably helping way more people, like you've mentioned.
Yeah. And then people go, well, they want to come to me. And I'm like, well, do you have a golf course? Like, no, you can come to my simulator, or I'll come to you. Or I have my Zoom lessons like we're doing here, right? Or membership. But anyway, I digress. So here's what I'm saying. So I'm sitting on my right foot only. Okay. I'm going to wind up and I'm going to throw. Okay. And when I did this, you can see I'm throwing and I'm in perfect balance, right?
Yeah.
I got clocked at 128 miles an hour on my right leg and 128 miles an hour on my left leg. So this is something that you can build up speed with and balance with. And you're going to hit the ball. When you hit the ball, the club is going to be opposite your big toe, because that's going to be your center. Yeah. You're not shifting. Yeah. Okay. So you can literally just wind up. See, I'm wound up completely. And if I turned, I'd fall off balance, right? Because my hand is unwinding so fast. I can do that and I'm in balance.
Yeah. And it just kind of happens. Okay. I'll have to do that a million times.
Yeah. Well, and then but I don't want it to feel like, and sometimes when I teach people this drill, they think it's like, okay, I'm just kind of swinging halfway. Like, no, I want you to swing full. Okay. I want you to really wind up, because I really want this leg to feel see how my pelvis is going out and my right pelvis goes back. Yeah. Well, why is it going back? Because my hand goes back further. Yeah. So what made so watch this. Watch my hand. As my hand, so here's my hand and pelvis. So as my hand winds up further, my pelvis then has to go back. But it doesn't go here and then turn my pelvis back. See, my pelvis is going back because of my hand path. Yes. Okay. There you go. It feels way outside. Yeah. That's right. Now make your hand keep going back further. Like, yeah. No, you say you pulled your arm, not your arm, hand. Oh. There. Now keep going. I don't even know how to. There you go. Now look what your pelvis did. It went back behind you further. Now you can't get your left hand there probably. Let's see. Not without falling. Well, see, now that's the difference. Okay. So now watch mine. Ready? Okay. Look where my hand is. My hand over my head? Yeah. See, so I can get here. How do you stretch? Let your head rotate. Let your head. You get some mobility thing. Stretch. Let your head, and I let my chin rotate. If my head stays here, I can't reach with my shoulder. See? So you're talking way back. Yeah, and that's for like a long drive when I want to hit it 330, 340. Yeah. So if all you did, see right there, you can't reach, right? So bring your right hand just a little bit more closer to you. There you go, right now, just a little bit further, like not closer like to your like this, but like just a little further away. Yep, and bring your whole hand a little bit further away from you. So bring which hand? Right hand? No, bring it like like a little less throw. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you're probably like right there. Now reach it easy. See? There you go. Now that's a good stretch. But that's about your flexibility level. If you go further than that, what's going to happen? One, you'll probably twist your body because you'll stop winding your hand. Or two, you'll move your head off. So what kind of stretches would you do? Just not that I need to get up here, but swing a golf club. Now the other part too is there's one. I take a broomstick or a dowel and make it a dowel or something like that, and start with your hands really wide apart and just back and forth. Okay. Now make sure I don't open my chest when I do it. So I'm going to feel like I kind of suck my abs down a little bit. I'm going to kind of squeeze them. So I'm kind of like in this position, and then I just rotate my shoulders. Okay. And so little by little by little, you bring your hands in on the dowel. And then you go, this is the real pain in the ass one, go this way. And then go this way. And see how my elbows don't bend? Yeah. So the reason why this is because when I do ring work, I can hang on rings and I can twist my arm all the way around with all my body weight. So when I'm doing this and I'm spinning around on rings, my shoulder socket is healthy to rotate. So therefore, when I do that, I'm up here.
Oh, wow. So it's probably a shoulder thing for, if anything, for me, and not.
Yeah. Rotator cuff, shoulders. As you age, a lot of people stop range of motion. They do single plane motion workouts. And so they stress this here and they end up having to get shoulder surgery, tear their shoulder, rotator cuff, etc. So anything that you can rotate it. And that's why dowel exercises are great. Okay. Because then you can't cheat it.
Yeah.
So then you could take a dowel if you wanted to once you're up here, right? And then you could kind of get the feeling of where that right arm and lat would be. So I'm stretching this muscle right here is engaged when I'm lining my hand up further. So a lot of people can't, this muscle right underneath here can't engage if your arm's only here.
Yeah.
See the difference? So it's not, so a lot of people have this dead wrong when they say, move your thoracic spine. So what moves your thoracic spine? So I want you to understand that. When people talk about move the thoracic spine, they're saying do this, right? It's not that. My hand path does this, which stretches my thoracic spine. If I just do this, I'm just literally pulling my whole spine and my leg straightening. I'm extending my arm from here. So now from here, now I can throw. And I'm spinning my hand.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, let that all soak in.
Yeah, definitely will. The shoulder thing made me think of something that I just wanted to run by you while you're here. Every once in a while, I feel like, well, I think tension is one of my just general kind of baseline issues. I just forget to relax fully and trust in that. But whenever I've had times where I focus on my left shoulder specifically being loose and almost like I'm letting it like get away from me. Yeah. I feel like I make better contact. This is just weird compensation stuff? Is there anything to that?
Oh, no, it's weird compensation. Okay. Yeah. So because anytime you feel that stretch, then for you, you're going wide, your head's over here. And so maybe you don't lift up as much and counterbalance that way, but your pelvis is still going here. So you're just kind of trying to figure out a way to get back.
Okay.
So anytime your pelvis does this on the backswing, it's going to do this on the downswing.
Got it.
So when you're wound up here and here, you can see how your pelvis goes this way and this way.
Yeah.
But I don't want you focusing on that because that's why I'm saying just learn the right foot.
Arm.
So then once you put your feet in the right position here and you wind your hand up, you're winding your hand up fully. You can see, look at my pelvis. So, yeah. And so if I need to go back further, so I can either lift my leg. So I'm flexible enough. I can go here and see my leg didn't come off the ground. Okay. But it can if I keep winding my hand up and allow my body to respond.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Never thought about my shoulders being immobile.